ears. Yes, hi. Good afternoon. Slide is settled. Are we comfortable in Malayalam? Anyone who doesn't understand Malayalam? Yeah. So we should definitely consider you, right? We'll keep it a mix of Malayalam and English, but I'm sure I'll deliver value to you as well. Yeah. Cool. Here we go. We're always excited to be here at Huddle. I mean, the energy here is amazing, and this year they have taken it up a notch again, right? Electric atmosphere, a lot of young startup enthusiasts, and I always refer to this. Back in 2012, I was in first year of college, and there was Startup Village back in Kochi, and I was one among you. I visited Startup Villages, looking up to entrepreneurs with a lot of dreams and ambitions, and multiple failed startups later, multiple failed ventures later, here I stand. Right? So always feels good, really amazing to be here back again at Huddle, and again, I mean, amazing to see all of you. Yeah, we can keep the energy up. Yeah, so again, marketing madness, right? So what I'm going to talk about is a lot of things that I learned on the go while I'm building my own startup, right? So we'll get to that. Again, the word marketing has been abused a lot. Marketing word startup, right? Anybody start anything, anywhere, and they call it a startup. Right, that is where we are. But anyways, let's get some clarity. Okay, I'd like to understand the room. How many of you have already started up? Amazing. How many of you thinking about starting? Hey, how many of you thinking about starting? We haven't started, we're still dreaming. Alright. How many of you actually started up? Better. Cool. So at what stage? So those who have started up, say under a lakh rupees revenue a month, above a lakh rupees revenue per month. No revenue, how many? Cool, got it. Cool. Amazing. So, I mean, I always start any presentation with perspective. That's something I do because I believe when you are about to do something, let it be business or studies or your career or trading, which I do. I mean, you have to have the right perspective, right mindset, and real good clarity of thought, right? That's when you can succeed in something. So today, what I'll be focusing on is to give you perspective as to how you should be looking at marketing, right? So let's get into it. Can you go back? Cool. Yeah, so a bit about myself, if you don't know about me already, so I'm Sharique Shamsudeen. I'm the founder and CEO of MarketFeed. MarketFeed is an automated trading platform. We help you select options trading strategies, and we let you trade those strategies in a completely automated manner in your own account. So how we can help you is by helping you make higher returns with higher risk. I'm not sure if I could deliver it well, which is a bad thing for an entrepreneur to do, right? But I wouldn't focus on that. Let me not sell my company today. Let me only focus on the value I should be delivering today, which should be how should we look at marketing, right? But again, speaking about again myself, what another thing which I could do in my humble life is I have over 1.3 million followers on YouTube, right? Where I speak about personal finance, stock market, a bit of entrepreneurship as well, right? MarketFeed, we got selected into Y Combinator back in 2021. We raised $2.5 million at a $30 million valuation. So cool, right? Yeah? This normally gets applause, but should we actually applaud it? I mean, that's a sad state of how things are. I mean, raising millions of dollars and having a $30 million valuation is cool. But I would say that is not what should be cool. Real numbers is what should speak for itself. When startups should come on stage and talk about what they're doing, how they're growing. what revenue they're making. And that is where I'm proud about. We've been growing at an average rate of 27% for the last 14 months. Every month we've been growing 27%. We are catering to 2,000 plus users today. And since we are trading people's money, we are trading over 150 crore rupees today. So that is the growth we have seen. Now this is where I need applause. I mean, that is what you should applaud for, right? I mean, what the hell is $2.5 million and $30 million? In fact, we are planning to raise another $5 million this year, probably it goes through, but that's the plan. I mean, see, valuation funding, it should happen, might not happen, we don't know. See, what actually at the end of the day matters is real business, and that is what we'll talk about today. This is slow. Yeah. Now, let's make this really interactive, conversational. I need an answer for this. When should you start marketing? Eppozhana marketing started? Like when business and startups plan cheyunnavundu. When should you start marketing? As in full blown, nalle reethile paisa irakkiittu marketing. Shit, vadivali. I was expecting a lot of wrong answers, and then I could say, hey, that's all wrong, and the correct answer is when you have product market fit. But that's the right answer, right? So you should start marketing when you have product market fit, right? So that's what you should do. How many of you have heard about product market fit? Oh, that's good, that's great. But for people who do not know what product market fit is, we should talk about what product market fit is. And for people who know what product market fit is, we're completely going to change the definition of PMF, right? I mean, the way people normally talk about, the way people normally define product market fit isn't actually right, is what I believe. There's a different framework for going about product market fit, and this is really bad. I'll say next time, slide macho. Yeah, so this was the answer. Basically, only when your product is good. Next slide. And how do you know your product is good? ശരിയല്ലേ? നമ്മുടെ പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് നന്നായിട്ട് മാത്രമേ നമ്മൾ മാർക്കറ്റിങ്ങിനെ പറ്റി ചിന്തിക്കേണ്ട ആവശ്യമുള്ളൂ. ശരിയല്ലേ? മലയാളത്തിൽ വളരെ സിമ്പിൾ ആയിട്ട് ബുദ്ധി വെച്ച് ചിന്തിച്ചാൽ മതി. ജാർഗൻസിലേക്ക് പലപ്പോഴും ജാർഗൻസിൽ PM പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് മാർക്കറ്റ് ഫിറ്റ് എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ അല്ലേ നമ്മളെ തുടക്കക്കാരനെ കൂടെ ഔട്ടാവും. ജാർഗൻസ് വേണ്ട. വളരെ സിമ്പിൾ ആയിട്ട് just use your basic intellect and think about it. When should you start spending money and bring in customers? Product നന്നാണ്. When you are sure that your product is good. ശരിയല്ലേ? അപ്പോൾ അടുത്ത ചോദ്യം ഇതാണ്. How do you know your product is good? നിങ്ങളുടെ പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് നല്ലതാണെന്ന് നിങ്ങൾ എങ്ങനെ അറിയാം? അല്ലെ, നിങ്ങളിപ്പോൾ സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പ് ചെയ്യണമെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ how do you actually know your product is good? Or do you just believe that hey, my product is good, people are loving it, let me just market, spend a lot of money and bring in people? Maybe it is a leaky bucket. നമ്മുടെ ഫണ്ടില് like നമ്മുടെ പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ്, if the product is bad, people will come, use the product for a few days and they leave. It is called a leaky bucket. What is the point in bringing people into a leaky bucket? Spend money, put in marketing, bring in people, and they go out. They are not retained, they get churned. What is the point in even spending in marketing? So spend for marketing only after you ensure that your product is good. People will be retained, and in the retention period, there is an LTV, lifetime value to the customer, where you can recover your customer acquisition cost, you make some money, and then they churn. Maybe it is still okay. Only once you reach such a state, you start spending money for marketing. Makes sense? Logical, product just because you build a product isn't a reason good enough to market. Absolutely logical. You have to make sure product is good. Parameters, you have to see all those parameters, make sure it is functioning, make sure the retention is good. Churn bad, emotional. So question is, how do you know your product is good? Next slide. Product market fit. Right? So you know your product is good when you measure and when you are sure that your product has product market fit. Startup in a party anybody thinking about living or living by building a startup should live by product market fit. This is the only thing that you should aspire to have before you hit anything in your startup. You shouldn't think about growth rate, you shouldn't think about getting more customers, you shouldn't think about building, making your code proper. No. Product market fit is the only thing. So you either have product market fit or you do not have. See, it is measurable. I'll teach you today how to measure it, how to understand, how to go about product market fit. Go out, start acquiring users, start raising funds, right? Probably start talking to investors only once you have PMF. Right? PMF is strong data numbers. If you go to investors and talk to them, there's a high chance that you can actually raise a round. Right? Yeah. അങ്ങനെയാണെങ്കിൽ ഞാൻ ആദ്യം പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ കുറേയധികം തെറ്റിദ്ധരിക്കപ്പെട്ടിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ടേമാണ് നമ്മുടെ നാട്ടില് സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പ് അല്ലേ? അപ്പൊ എന്താണ് സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പ് എന്നൊരു ചോദ്യം ഞാൻ നിങ്ങളോട് ചോദിക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ എന്തായിരിക്കും ഉത്തരം തരിക? വാട്ട് ഇസ് എ സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പ്? ഗിവ് മീ ദ ഡെഫിനിഷൻ ഫോർ സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പ്. നേരത്തെ പോലെ പെട്ടെന്ന് ഉത്തരം പറഞ്ഞേ, എന്റെ പ്രസന്റേഷൻ റൈറ്റ്. സോ വാട്ട് ഇസ് എ സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പ്? ആരെങ്കിലും എണീറ്റുന്ന ഉത്തരം പറയാം. ഒരു 2 ഉത്തരം 3 ഉത്തരം കിട്ടിയാൽ ഇറ്റ് വിൽ ബി റിയലി നൈസ്. What is it? Finding a business model or answer, right? Yeah. Using technology to scale, right? Appo, yeah. So this is one answer. What answer? Finding a business model. Appo, either business model down. രണ്ടാമത് കിട്ടിയ ഉത്തരം ടെക്നോളജി. ഇതൊരു ഭയങ്കരമായി പറയപ്പെടുന്ന സാധനമാണ്. നമ്മൾ ടെക്നോളജി യൂസ് ചെയ്ത് എന്തെങ്കിലും ബിൽഡ് ചെയ്താൽ അത് സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പ് ആണ്. Right? If you use technology to build something, it is called a startup. Is it necessary? No. So technology is a good to have. It's not a must to have. Right? അതാണ് അതിന്റെ കഥ. What is a startup? Idea. What sort of an idea? Yeah, some idea which has a potential to scale up. Kind of ശരിയാണ്. ഒരു ശരിയുടെ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഞാൻ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്ന ആൻസറിന്റെ ഒരു എലമെന്റ് അതിൽ തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും. വേറെ നമ്മൾ കേൾക്കുന്ന ഒരു ഉത്തരം യെസ് പ്ലീസ്. Finding a solution for a problem. എനിക്കിപ്പോ ചൂടിട്ടുണ്ട്, ഞാൻ വേർക്കുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ ഇവിടെ ഈസി വെച്ചാൽ സൊല്യൂഷൻ ടു മൈ പ്രോബ്ലം. ഇസ് എ സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പ് അല്ലേ? അല്ലെങ്കിൽ innovative. That's an answer I was looking for, which is wrong. Right? So normally people think, right? Let's build something, think about something innovative, disruptive. That's a word which is commonly thrown around, right? Disruptive. Probably it is a startup. Need not be disruptive. So the right way to think about it, I'll give an example, right? So think about your town, a small town somewhere, right? Say someone is starting a, I don't know, Mexican restaurant there, right? It is innovative, like you said, right? It's innovative to start a Mexican restaurant at a very small town. Is it a startup? Should we call it a startup? Not necessarily. So we can talk about a lot of examples where we can say, like if you go by certain examples, they need not necessarily be a startup. So what is a startup? Startup is any entity which can grow at nearly 15-20% month on month and go to a really good height. Someone mentioned scale, right? Someone mentioned scale, right? So എന്താണ് സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പ്? എല്ലാ മാസവും ഗ്രോ ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കാൻ പറ്റണം. കുറേ നാളത്തേക്ക് അങ്ങനെ വലിയൊരു ഹൈറ്റിലേക്ക് എത്താനും പറ്റണം. Any entity, organization which can do this is a startup. So now if you think about it, to do this probably you'll have to be innovative. To do this probably you might need technology, right? Otherwise how do you scale? Easy. I mean there are examples of companies without using a lot of tech probably would have scaled, but mostly generally നമ്മൾ ചിന്തിക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ടെക്നോളജി വേണ്ടി വരും. അത്രയും സ്കെയിൽ ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് വലിയൊരു മാർക്കറ്റ് ഉണ്ടായിരിക്കണം അല്ലെ? വലിയ മാർക്കറ്റ് അവൈലബിൾ ആയിരിക്കണം. എന്നാലാണ് 20% മന്ത് ഓൺ മന്ത് ഗ്രോ ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കാൻ പറ്റുള്ളൂ ഫോർ എ വെരി ലോങ് പീരീഡ് ഓഫ് ടൈം. അപ്പോൾ വലിയൊരു മാർക്കറ്റ് ഉണ്ടാകണം, ആ സീലിംഗ് ഹിറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റണം, പെട്ടെന്ന് ഗ്രോ ചെയ്യണം. That's all. This is how you should think about it. So when you are building a startup, you should measure your growth rate. That is what did I boast about when I began? I said we've been growing at 25% compounded monthly growth rate for the last 14 months. That is what I'm proud of. So when you are building a startup, you should be tracking your metrics. You should have your North Star metrics. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ടുള്ള കുറച്ച് മേജർ മെട്രിക്സ് ഉണ്ടാകണം. You should track those metrics. Mainly North Star metric ആകാം. അതൊരു ഒരു B2B SaaS കമ്പനി ആണെങ്കിൽ it would be your MRR, അല്ലേ? Monthly recurring revenue. Or say ഓരോ ടൈപ്പ് ഓഫ് സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്സിനും നിങ്ങളുടേതായ ഒരു മെട്രിക് ഉണ്ടാവും. You should make sure that metric is growing 10-20% month on month. Keep it growing and aim for the sky. You should have the potential to reach there as well, right? നിങ്ങൾ ഓപ്പറേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്ന മാർക്കറ്റിന് അത്ര പൊട്ടൻഷ്യൽ ഉണ്ടാകണം. Only then you can reach there. And that is when you are a startup, right? For doing this, you'll have to be solving a problem like someone said. You'll have to be innovative, you'll have to have technology, all those you'll have to have. So that is what a startup is. Right? So when I talk about stages of a startup, the first stage, like I said before, is only about achieving product market fit. Only that. Product market fit achieve ചെയ്യലും മാത്രം ചിന്തിക്കാൻ പാടുള്ളൂ. ആൾക്കാർ എന്തൊക്കെയോ ആലോചിച്ച് ടെൻഷൻ അടിച്ച് ആവശ്യമില്ലാത്ത കാര്യങ്ങളിലേക്ക് ഒന്നും വേണ്ട. നിങ്ങൾ 2-3 ഫ്രണ്ട്സ് ചേർന്ന് എന്തെങ്കിലും തുടങ്ങാൻ തീരുമാനിച്ചാൽ, തുടങ്ങാൻ വർക്ക് സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്താൽ all you should be focusing is on achieving product market fit. അതിനു മുൻപ് ഫണ്ട് റൈസ് ചെയ്യേണ്ട, അതിനു മുൻപ് വലിയ ചെലവുകളിലേക്ക് പോകേണ്ട, അതിനു മുൻപ് സ്വാങ്കി ഓഫീസ് എടുക്കേണ്ട, കൂളാകേണ്ട, എല്ലാവരും CEO ഫൗണ്ടർ CEO കാർഡ് അടിക്കില്ലേ, കാർഡ് അടിക്കേണ്ട, ഒരു ആവശ്യമില്ല. We're not building a startup to be cool, right? That shouldn't be a reason to build a startup, right? So the first stage is to achieve product market fit, and then what do you do after that? Grow 20% month on month. I mean, let me say this: building startup is probably the most toughest thing ever in the world, right? A famous quote in building a startup is like chewing glass, and then you get used to liking your own blood's taste. It's really difficult. എല്ലാ മാസം 20% ഗ്രോ ചെയ്യണമെന്നുള്ള പ്രഷർ എന്ന് പറയാനുള്ളത്. It's really difficult. Maybe ഇടയ്ക്ക് ഡിപ്സ് ഉണ്ടാകാം. It's not necessary that എല്ലാ മാസം ഗ്രോ ചെയ്യണം, ഇടയ്ക്ക് ഡിപ്സ് ഉണ്ടാകാം. But you have to keep growing. You have to keep growing. It's really difficult. Really difficult എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഭയങ്കര വിഷയം സാധനമാണ്. കുറേ മനുഷ്യരുണ്ട്. It's not just you and your friends. After a point, right? You're a team of 10, 20, 30, 50. എല്ലാവരും ഒരുമിച്ച് കൊണ്ടുവന്നിട്ട് എല്ലാ മെട്രിക്സും നോക്കി making sure you're taking the right decisions and to keep growing. This is a really difficult thing to do. But anyways, this is what you should do. And like I understand, most of the room is either planning to start up or you've already started up and are in the early stages. So this is what you should be focusing on. Assume product market fit, right? And then let's think about growing later, but I'll be talking about that as well. അപ്പോൾ ഇതാണ് ഒരു നോർമൽ സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പിന്റെ ഒരു ഗ്രോത്ത് കർവ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. ഇറ്റ്സ് എ വെരി ഫേമസ് തിങ്, റൈറ്റ്? എസ് കർവ്. ദിസ് ഈസ് ഹൗ ദ ഗ്രോത്ത് കർവ് ഓഫ് എനി ഗുഡ് സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പ് ഷുഡ് ലുക്ക് ലൈക്ക്, റൈറ്റ്? ആദ്യം എന്താ? ഏർലി ഡേയ്സ് അല്ലേ? ഐ തിങ്ക് മോസ്റ്റ് ഓഫ് യു ആർ ഇൻ ഏർലി ഡേയ്സ്, കറക്റ്റ് അല്ലേ? ഏർലി ഡേയ്സിൽ എന്താ ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്? ടിങ്കറിംഗ് വിത്ത് പ്രോഡക്റ്റ് ആൻഡ് ഫൈൻഡിങ് പ്രോഡക്റ്റ് മാർക്കറ്റ് ഫിറ്റ്, റൈറ്റ്? മാത്രമേ ചെയ്യേണ്ട ആവശ്യമുള്ളൂ. Early days, what you're doing is tinkering with product and finding product market fit. Few users, so few advocates for your product. Fine. വളരെ കുറച്ച് users മതി. ആദ്യം നമുക്ക് product നന്നാകാതെ, if you bring in a lot of users, it is of no use. Those users would actually be pissed off by your bad product. They'll probably badmouth you, leave bad reviews and go away forever. Do you need that? No. So don't market, don't get in a lot of users unless you hit product market fit. It should be deliberate. I mean, you shouldn't feel sad that, hey, I don't have a lot of users. You should be proud of the fact that, hey, I have few users because I'm still figuring out product market fit. It is a completely okay state to be in. Good. Then what happens? Product market, you've reached product, you have early signs of product market fit, right? So new users are converted virally. This happens. Viral, word of mouth and the virality loop kicks in. Because these people like your product, they start talking to your friends, their people around them, and you start getting more users, right? So product market fit kittumbo, you'll see that things are moving on its own. And that is when you have to kick in. And this, അപ്പോൾ ഈ പോയിന്റ് എത്ര കിട്ടും എന്നുള്ളത് നിങ്ങളുടെ മാർക്കറ്റ് ഡിസൈഡ് ചെയ്യും. If the product, the space that you're operating in, if you have a really big market size, then you have a really long period here, right? But if your product doesn't have a large market size to cater to, then this will be a very short span, maybe 2 years, 3 years. But if it's a really large market, you're talking about 10, 15 years here, this point alone. And what do you think is the duration here? Or figuring out PMF? What should be an ideal time? How much time should you give to figure out PMF? There's a very famous thing of a lot of companies out there where I think it was Figma really, I mean Figma took I guess some 7 years, 8 years to hit product market fit. That's what we're talking about, right? അപ്പോൾ ഇത് ഒരു സ്ട്രഗിളിന്റെ കാലഘട്ടമാണ്. If you can struggle well, if you can sustain yourself during the struggle period, then yeah, give it time to figure out product market fit. But then yeah, you grow a lot. This is where you actually live your life, and then finally for any product, because then you will plateau. ഏത് പ്രോഡക്റ്റ് ആണെങ്കിലും മാർക്കറ്റ് തീരും. ആ പ്രോഡക്റ്റിന്റെ മാർക്കറ്റ് അതാണ്. മാർക്കറ്റ് വലുതാണെങ്കിൽ കുറെ നാൾ കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് തീരും, So you start plateauing, right? Finally, plateauing. Now, a company what should you do? Company what should you do next? Yeah? Absolutely. All the right answers coming from you. Right. So, see, you as a startup founder, your job is to keep growing forever. See, Reliance with the, I don't know what, 15,000 crore quarterly profits. Reliance Industries, 15,000 crores quarterly profits. 3 months profits, still growing year on year. 20%. So what you're signing up for basically is a year-long pressure for yourself to keep growing. So my point is, why I'm saying this is to not dishearten you. So I met somebody, Jim. Fuad, right? See, about Jim, he is building a B2B SaaS platform for gym owners. So the market wouldn't be that big, but fine, considerable, right? So what should he think? For him to sustain for a very long time, say he reaches here, he is having this maximal growth rate, is growing really well. So he should start planning for the next S-curve, right? It could be a different product which can start another S-curve for you and your company, or you can think about a different geography altogether. Go to a different country and start an S-curve there, right? So you keep playing the S-curves throughout your life. You keep growing. That's what you do as a startup founder. Understood? So every new geography with a new product again will start from here. You have to get your initial customers, you have to figure out PMF and play the journey. Or else you bring a new product, maybe to your existing customers who are the gym owners, or to the clients of gym owners, or a completely different product in a different space, and play out the next test curve and keep playing it forever, and that's the life of an owner, right? So I hope you get clarity on this. So what I'm focusing on is, as early stage founders, we're aspiring to become founders, really early stage. You're here. Don't worry about all these things now. Just know that, hey, this is what the journey is, but your entire focus should be on figuring out product market fit. I mean, marketing out, but let's talk about, so during this phase, right, when you're figuring out product market fit, there's a critical component that you have to figure out in terms of marketing. That is what you have to focus on. It's not doing marketing. It is figuring out what marketing you should do once you have product market fit. And that is where, yeah, right. So now let's understand PMF. This is what I said earlier, right? So PMF is product market fit. Malayalam endha? Nammal offer ചെയ്യുന്ന product, നമ്മൾ offer ചെയ്യുന്ന market, ആൾക്കാർക്ക് ഇഷ്ടമാണോ ഇല്ലയോ? അല്ലേ? Product market fit. Clear അല്ലേ? നമ്മുടെ product നമ്മുടെ users-ന് ഇഷ്ടമാണോ ഇല്ലയോ? Product market fit. അപ്പോൾ this is a very famous thing in the industry. You can read about it, you can Google, you get a lot of articles, right? But what I'm saying is, PMF is not right. Strike it all. PMF is the focus center. We should be product, market, and then you can see. Customer. Market is basically customer, right? Market is your customer. C is channel. What channel are you getting your customers from? If that is not validated, how can you be confident about your product? M is model again. Model. How are you making money from users? If that is not validated, how are you saying that you have a great product? And F is fit again, right? So what I'm saying is, when we say product market fit, you shouldn't be just making sure your users love your product. You should also make sure that how would you acquire your users, which is your marketing, and how much are they paying for you? Are they happy or okay with what you're charging them? Right? We'll talk about it. So basically, PMF should be BMCMF is what I'm saying. So this is conventional product market fit, right? We have your product and then there's a market. You have to ensure that the market loves your product. Now, how do you quantify product market fit? This should be a major takeaway. I want you to start measuring this right from today. How do you measure product market fit? I'll talk about two ways here. See, one is a very conventional way of measuring product market fit. The other one is a kind of a new way. I'm not sure if you've heard about Superhuman, right? It's a mail app. So Superhuman's founder actually suggested a new way of measuring product market fit. Great. So, എങ്ങനെയാണ് മലയാളത്തിൽ മലയാളത്തിൽ ചിന്തിച്ചിട്ടൊന്ന് ആലോചിച്ച് നോക്കിയേ, നമ്മുടെ യൂസേഴ്സിന് നമ്മുടെ പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് ഇഷ്ടമാണോ എന്ന് എങ്ങനെ അറിയാം, എങ്ങനെ അളക്കാം?
കസ്റ്റമർ റിട്ടൻഷൻ,
കസ്റ്റമർ ഫീഡ്ബാക്ക് ആണ്. മലയാളത്തിൽ ബുദ്ധി കൊണ്ട് ചിന്തിച്ച് പറഞ്ഞ ഉത്തരമാണ്. ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് എ റിയൽ ഗുഡ് ആൻസർ. Definitely. See, when I went to Y Combinator, what they said is, I mean, they gave us a mantra for building a startup. It was very simple. Talk to users, build the product. That's it. See, one they say, only build something people want. And how to do is, talk to people and build what they want. So that's what you said, right? Talk to people, understand. So that's there. But otherwise, let it be a metric. Or a metric പോലെ ചിന്തിച്ച് നോക്കിയേ.
കസ്റ്റമർ റിട്ടൻഷൻ.
Right. എവിടെന്താ പറയുന്നത്? Customer pay ചെയ്യുന്നത് not necessarily. So he said if the customer is paying, we can kind of say that our product is good. Not necessarily, right? How many times even I, and I'm sure you as well, you pay for a product, the product comes or you get access to the product, you don't like the product and you don't use it at all. Gym membership. How many of us have taken gym membership and how many of us have ended up going? I'm trying nowadays. You can see that. Anyways, so paying is never an indicator for product market fit. But he said the right answer, which is retention. Retention ആരെങ്കിലും മലയാളത്തിൽ പറഞ്ഞേ? Somebody എവിടെ നിന്ന് ആരെങ്കിലും പറഞ്ഞേ? Retention. എന്താണ് retention? നിലനിർത്ത. യൂസർ നമ്മുടെ പ്രൊഡക്റ്റില് നിലനിന്നാൽ അതിന്റെ അർത്ഥം എന്താ? അയാൾക്ക് എന്തോ ഇഷ്ടപ്പെടുന്നു. അപ്പൊ ഇത് week 1 retention, week 2 retention, week 3 retention, week 4 retention, month 1 retention, month 4 retention, month 6 retention. Month 6 retention അർത്ഥം എന്താ? എന്താ ആരെങ്കിലും മലയാളത്തിൽ? month 6 retention. ഒരാള് ഒരു പ്രൊഡക്റ്റിൽ വന്ന് അതിൽ സൈൻ അപ്പ് ചെയ്തു അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ആക്ടിവേറ്റ് ആയിട്ട് 6 മാസം കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ടും അയാൾ ആ പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. The data which I'm talking about digital products here. Even otherwise, you can track it, right? Easy tools are available, so you can know this person came in say January, and even till June, he is still actively still an active user. So you should define what an active user is. അതിന്റെ അർത്ഥം എന്താ? പുള്ളി 6 മാസം ഈ പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് ഉപയോഗിച്ചു. അതിന്റെ അർത്ഥം എന്താ? പുള്ളിക്ക് എന്തോ ഇഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടിട്ടുണ്ട് അല്ലേ? അപ്പോ see, you should do cohort based retention. ഓരോ ആഴ്ച വരുന്ന സെറ്റ് ഓഫ് യൂസേഴ്സിന് ഒരു ബാച്ച് ആക്കിയിട്ട് അവരുടെ ഡിപ്പെൻഡിങ് ഓൺ വാട്ട് യുവർ പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് ഇസ് റിട്ടൻഷൻ ഇങ്ങനെ ട്രാക്ക് ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുക. Right? So when you see this varies from product to product. Say, what do you think would be the retention of Instagram will be? ഒരു 1 year retention there Instagramന്റെ. Somebody വെറുതെ എന്തെങ്കിലും 90% probably, right? എല്ലാവരും ചെറിയ ഇൻസ്റ്റാഗ്രാം കണ്ടോണ്ടിരിക്കുകയല്ലേ? Probably 90%. Such a beautiful product. Think about it, അല്ലേ? ഇൻസ്റ്റാഗ്രാമിൽ കയറിയാൽ ഒരു വർഷം കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ആൾക്കാർ ഉപയോഗിക്കില്ലേ? അതല്ലേ ഒരു നല്ല പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ്. നിങ്ങൾ അവസാനമായിട്ട് ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് കേട്ട് ഡൗൺലോഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് ഉപയോഗിക്കാതിരുന്ന ഒരു പ്രൊഡക്റ്റിനെ പറ്റി പറഞ്ഞു ആരെങ്കിലും? എവിടെ പറഞ്ഞു? ജാർ ആപ്പിനെ പറ്റി അറിയോ? ജാർ റേസ്ഡ് I think 40 million series. വിഷയം. എനിവേസ് അതൊക്കെ ഒരു കാലം പട്ടിക്കിട്ടൊന്നും നടക്കണ്ട. എന്നാലും ജാർ 9 കോടി രൂപയാണ് കഴിഞ്ഞ വർഷം റവന്യൂ ഉണ്ടാക്കി. 9 കോടി രൂപ. അവരെത്ര 300 കോടി റേസ് ചെയ്തു. എനിവേസ് ജാർ is an app which helps you save money and invest pennies into gold, right? So ജാർ ഡൗൺലോഡ് ചെയ്തു. എന്നിട്ട് എന്ത് ചെയ്തു? 1 രൂപ ഇട്ടു, 100 രൂപ ഇട്ടു. പിന്നെ ആപ്പ് തിരിഞ്ഞു നോക്കിയിട്ടില്ല. അപ്പൊ അവിടെ ആ യൂസറിന്റെ റിട്ടൻഷൻ ജാർ നോക്കുമ്പോ എന്താ? പുള്ളി ആദ്യത്തെ ദിവസം വന്നു, എന്തൊക്കെയോ ഇങ്ങനെ ചെയ്ത് നോക്കി. ഇൻഫാക്ട് നിങ്ങളുടെ സ്ക്രീൻസ് ഒക്കെ റെക്കോർഡാണ് കേട്ടോ. കമ്പനിക്ക് കാണാം യൂസർ വന്നിട്ട് എവിടെ എന്ത് നെക്കിയത് എല്ലാം കാണാം. UX ക്യാമറ ഉപയോഗിച്ച് എല്ലാവരും ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. അപ്പോ അവർ നോക്കുമ്പോ ഈ യൂസർ ഒരു ദിവസം കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് പിന്നെ ആപ്പ് തിരിഞ്ഞു നോക്കിയിട്ടേ ഇല്ല. റിട്ടൻഷൻ വളരെ മോശമല്ലേ? അതിന്റെ അർത്ഥം എന്താ? പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് മോശമാണ് അല്ലേ? പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് മാർക്കറ്റ് ഫിറ്റ് ഇല്ല, റൈറ്റ്? സോ നിങ്ങൾ ഒരു പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് കുറെ നാൾ യൂസ് ചെയ്യണ്ടെങ്കിൽ കമ്പനിയുടെ പെർസ്പെക്റ്റീവ് നിന്ന് യു ആർ ബീങ് റിറ്റെയിൻ ഫോർ എ വെരി ലോങ് പീരിയഡ് ഓഫ് ടൈം. വൈ ആർ യു റിറ്റെയിൻ? ബിക്കോസ് യു പ്രോബ്ലി ലവ് ദ പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ്, ലവ് ദ ഫീച്ചേഴ്സ് ഓഫ് ദ പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ്, ലവ് വാട്ട് ദേ ഓഫർ, റൈറ്റ്? അപ്പൊ അതാണ് പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് മാർക്കറ്റ് ഫിറ്റ്. ഹൗ ഡു യു മെൻഷൻ ഇറ്റ്? റിട്ടൻഷൻ. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അത് മെഷർ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുമെന്ന് തോന്നുന്നുണ്ടോ? ഡു യു തിങ്ക് യു ക്യാൻ മെഷർ ഇറ്റ്? You should figure it out. Google it. If you can't figure out how to measure retention, probably you shouldn't be starting. Yeah, where are the padikuva? You shouldn't be an entrepreneur. You shouldn't be starting up. Start a small business. A bakery, a restaurant, run it unprofessionally. If you are actually planning to excel at coding, see, 2% is the success rate in the startup coding. If you can't understand stuff, you can't figure out stuff, if you can't Google, self-learn and read and understand data, then what's the point? You're actually cheating yourself, right? You should be really sharp with your numbers. Understand data, get data, look at them and then build. Otherwise you're wasting your life, wasting your time. I'm being critical because this is what is needed, right? Take this as constructive criticism, go back and get back at building, right? That's what you should focus on. So basically retention. I'm very proud to say that we have 6-month retention of 92% at market fee, right? So it varies from companies to companies. For us it's easy because the passive product users need not come to the product and click something on a daily basis. They come, they get activated, they put their money and they go away. So basically building retention is very easy there. So that's that. You need to, so someone was talking about 80% retention. Who are the again, right? Yeah, so he has a bit we discussed, right? So he has 80%, what week? 1 year, right? Yeah, 1 year it is beautiful. So that's what you should focus on. So you should know what your retention number is. What is relevant for you is also very important. Week 4 ano, week 6 ano, like 2-month retention ano nokkendadu. It will depend on your product. Let's talk about retention കാര്യമായി അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു വീക്ക് 2 റിട്ടൻഷൻ സെൻസ് ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്ന ഒരു പ്രോഡക്റ്റ് ആർക്ക് പറയാൻ പറ്റും? അതായത് ഒരു യൂസർ വന്നു 2 ആഴ്ചക്ക് നിന്നാൽ മതി, ഒരു മാസം നിന്നാൽ മതി. പ്രോബബ്ലി യെസ്, അവരെ കണ്ടപ്പോ മാരേജ് പ്രോബബ്ലി തിങ്ക് അബൌട്ട് ഇറ്റ് അല്ലേ? തിങ്ക് അബൌട്ട് എ മാരേജ്. ഡു ദേ നീഡ് എ 1 year retention? This is probably a bad product, right? They couldn't find a match for the person in 1 year. That's bad, right? So that's one way of looking at retention. You should know when you should be delivering value to your customer and measure retention at that point. And retention curve should plateau. Retention curve എങ്ങനെ ഉണ്ടാവും? ഫസ്റ്റ് ഡേ എന്തായാലും 100% ഉണ്ടാവുമല്ലോ. ഇങ്ങനെ കുറഞ്ഞു വന്നിട്ട് at some point it should plateau. അല്ലേ? എവിടെയെങ്കിലും plateau ആകണം. എന്നിട്ട് ആ യൂസേഴ്സ് forever അല്ലെങ്കിൽ say 1, 2, 3 years they should keep using your product, and that is when you make money. You don't make money in these initial days, right? You're bringing in a lot of people and they're dropping off it within a week and they're not even probably paying. How are you going to make money? You would make a lot of money with even maybe 30, 40%, 20% of people retaining for a very long period of time. I had great examples. I should have probably put it on slide. Some big US company, they have some 17% year 5 retention. So, which means they bring in people at the end of 5 years. How much of people they bringing in on a day, on a week? 17% will be left even after 5 years. They'll keep making money from that 17%. It's fine, right? So now think about my company. So I know if I bring 1,000 people today into my app, after 6 months, 900 people would be still left. I know about that about my product, right? So you should be in that position is what I'm saying, talking about. And that is when you make money. About other product market fit. So you should measure retention. There's one way of doing it. I also said, there's another way where people, superhuman of founder Parnasanana, you send a feedback form to users, asking them, if we shut down tomorrow, how would you feel? Ask this to your users. If we shut down tomorrow, how would you feel? There should be very disappointed, neutral, okay and very happy sort of thing. Right. So if you get at least 40% very disappointed, you have product market. Makes sense, right? It's okay. നമ്മുടെ 40% യൂസേഴ്സ് പറയാണ് നമുക്ക് ഭയങ്കര വിഷമാവും നിങ്ങൾ നാളെ നിർത്തിപ്പോയെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ it means we are delivering value to somebody. That's also a measure of product market fit. Do that. And plus, like he mentioned, right, do constantly keep talking to users. Do user interviews, take feedback from them, understand what you can do better for them, right? On top of measuring all these numbers. Very critical. How much time do I have left? Yeah, we'll make it really quick from here then. Cool, then let's quickly talk about product channel fit, right? Actually. Cool. Right, so product channel fit is all about how you're acquiring your users. അതായത് ഇവിടെ എന്താ നമ്മൾ പറഞ്ഞത് നമ്മുടെ പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് വരുന്ന യൂസേഴ്സിന് ഇഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടു എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. Right, we know that users are liking our product. But what if users are not coming to your product? Should you raise funds? If you do not know how you can, with all control, bring users to your platform, should you go out and raise funds? Should you be confident that you have a great product, great business? You don't have a great business, right? You should be confident that you know from what channel you can get what market which likes your product. Make sense? That's when you have a good business. Otherwise, you only have a good product. What is a good product with no users using it? So you should have a great control over acquisition channels from where you can get the right market for what product you have built. So you basically, your GTM comes here, right? Go-to-market strategy comes here. We can talk about a lot of examples here, right? Let me not go there. We have lack of time, but see, this is something that people overlook. You can have a lot of different strategies here to carve out a niche market for you, to have specific go-to-market strategies where you can find your market. You need not just spray and pray. Spray and pray is okay. See, normally what people do is, they don't even have product market fit and they'll just spray and pray. We'll give ads in newspaper, Facebook ad, YouTube influencer, pray. Allah, spray and pray. So normally people without a product market fit do spray and pray. Then comes a little bit enlightened entrepreneurs who probably have product market fit and then spray and pray. Should not spray and pray. What's the point? It's all scientific. Think about it. It is all scientific. You can understand. So here you have to do your ICPs, ideal customer personas. You have to understand what your ICP is. So now let me talk about market fit. I wouldn't pitch market fit to anybody I meet. We clearly know we should focus on people with more than 20 lakh salary a year. Those are our customers, right? We sometimes even pitch to people with more than 10 lakh of annual salary. But more than 20 lakh of average annual salaries are ICP, our ideal customer persona. So we'll pinpoint them. We'll think about strategies where we can find them. Should I go to a college fest and sponsor? No, that's spray and pray. Where I can spray there and pray that probably some kid's father is rich and he would put money. That's not good strategy, right? I clearly know who my persona is and I'll go to places where they are. When I do my performance marketing, I know these are the people I need. Only show my ads to such people. I only need we are a very elitist product there, right? So that's that. So for your product, you have to understand what channel works for you. Once you know that is when you can say you have channel product fit, right? And finally, model as well. Maybe you have knowledge to bring people, right? You have a channel where you can bring people who love your product. What if they are not okay with your monetization plan? What if they are not paying? Do you have a good business? No. You just have a great product and you know how to bring people, but you don't know how to make money. What is used there? Clear? So you should figure this out. This is PMF according to me. This is when you have a great business. This is when you can go to sleep peacefully knowing that you have a great business. I haven't reached here, right? We probably have product market fit. We are still figuring out channel product fit, and we haven't even started working on this, right? We're making money today, but I don't think that's a scalable model. I mean, it's just, some jugaad, right? So that's where we are, and you have to be really honest about this. So you should be very clear about what you're building, and logically it's okay. When you have this is when you have a great business, right? You know how to bring people, what kind of people to bring, who like your product, who are ready to pay for you. There you have a great business. Clear? Clear or no? Marketing. Next slide. Yeah. So now what is very critical is marketing pre and post PMF. Before you reach here, how you think, and after you reach here, how you think is very different. So pre PMF, strict no to inorganic marketing, right? Don't spend for marketing. Just bring 50 users, 100 users and see how they are reacting. And see what their retention is. Take their feedback. That's what you do. It should be founder-driven marketing. Founders ഇറങ്ങി പ്രവർത്തിക്കുക. Founders and other users community-driven marketing. I spoke about this last Huddle. This is what I talked about. Referrals. Existing users കൊണ്ട് ചെറുതായിട്ട് വേണമെങ്കിൽ refer ചെയ്യിച്ചോ. Basically, ഇതെല്ലാം ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുമ്പോൾ pre-PMF where you should be focusing is figuring out acquisition engine. Next slide. We'll make it quick. Acquisition engine. Right. Now let's get into the core of market. Very critical. This is reforge. Good. About reforge, it's a big article. I mean, this is how you should probably. But good. Yes. Right. So growth is what we like mix with marketing growth. Basically. Right. So race car growth framework is why. Think about a racing car and how it operates. Your growth team should function like that. Yeah? I'll give you clarity, you'll understand. I'm sure you'll relate to this, you'll love this. Right? So your growth, your company's growth engine, your growth team, it's fine. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, so your company's growth team should function like a race car. About a race car will have an engine, right? A race car would have an engine. Then a race car would have turbo boost, nitrous boost, right? Takes me back to old road rash memories, right? Then it would have fuel and it would have lubricants as well, right? This is how a race car performs really well. And this is exactly how your growth team should also operate. Next slide, please. Yeah. Cool. So race car growth framework is the growth engine. So it's basically self-sustaining growth loops that drive most of your growth. Right? Think about it. I mean, market, logical. അതായത് നമ്മുടെ കമ്പനിക്ക് ഗ്രോത്തിന് ഒരു എഞ്ചിൻ വേണം. എഞ്ചിൻ എന്താ ചെയ്യുക? എഞ്ചിൻ ഇങ്ങനെ കാറിന് ഓടിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കും അല്ലേ? അപ്പൊ കമ്പനിയുടെ ഗ്രോത്ത് എഞ്ചിൻ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ എന്താ? യൂസേഴ്സ് ഇങ്ങനെ കൊണ്ടുവന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കും. എഞ്ചിനിൽ നമുക്കറിയാം ആക്സിലറേറ്റർ ഇങ്ങനെ കൊടുത്താൽ ഇത്ര സ്പീഡ് പോകും, ഇത്ര കുറച്ചാൽ സ്പീഡ് കുറയും. അതുപോലെ you should have reversed your growth engine where you know if you move what, so much users will come in. If you move this less, so much users wouldn't come. You should have so much control on your growth, on users coming into your funnel. You should reach there. Understood? This is where we have to reach. You should have acquisition engines. What all are acquisition engines? Virality. Right? People loving your product, keep talking about your product, great virality. So how do you control virality? Think about a B2C app here. There's something called an aha moment, right? So you book a cab on Ola. The moment you get a cab is an aha moment, right? You order grocery via Zepto or Instamart. The moment you make your product, they say success screen, that's your aha moment. So when you show the aha moment, if you show what thing, maybe refer your customer there, on that screen probably there is a higher chance that they refer to someone. Give them a coupon code if needed, and maybe you get more customers like that. It becomes an engine. Think about it, right? So that's just a specific example. For example, performance marketing, your Facebook ads, Instagram ads, YouTube ads. But again, it shouldn't be spray and pray. That's the point. You should know if you spend how much in what month to what target customers at what time in the day will you get how much users. You should have absolute control over that data. That is when you can say you have an engine. Understood? Shouldn't be praying every month that hey, let me do this and that and let some customers come in. No, you should have a clear growth engine. It would vary from business to business, but you should have clarity there. Now, what is a turbo boost? So for a normal car, what does turbo boost do? You normally you pedal on the accelerator, you're moving fast, then you click turbo boost and you go quicker, faster, right? So that is what turbo boost is. One-off events that accelerate growth temporarily but don't last. That is what a turbo boost does to a car, right? It gives quick acceleration, but then it goes away. So think about PR. What if I do a PR event, I talk to your story and get an article done next month. The next month I go to Money Control and get an article done. Those are spikes in my user acquisition growth, right? So these are turbo boosts. So these have to coexist. You have to have an engine which is a well-oiled engine which keeps bringing you customers, and then you press your turbo boost, which could be an event. Right? I come to this event is not really meaningful for my business. I could go to a HNI sort of an event and talk about market feed and come back. That gives me a spike, that's a turbo boost. So I could go to an event, I can conduct events, I can do PR stuff, and that spikes for you in users. So think about this, your engine is bringing you users, then there's a spike. Then your engine is bringing you users, then you can create a spike. So keep doing this, that's when you actually figure out growth, right? And then lubricants, optimizations that make the growth engine run more efficiently. It is as simple as improved customer conversion. So people, when they talk about marketing, they don't talk about their funnel's efficiency. It is not about tofu, top of the funnel, right? It's not about bringing people onto the top of the funnel. It is also making sure the funnel is so efficient that we convert them and activate them and make them a customer and take payment, right? Very important. So that's where lubricant comes in. A car can only go as fast as how well lubricated it is. Otherwise it will break. Right? Maybe the engine is great, you're pedaling it, there's a turbo boost, but if it is not well lubricated, it breaks. That's what happens. You have a great growth engine, you're doing turbo boost, events and stuff, users are coming, your funnel is bad. What happens? You end up not having customers. So you should have great lubricants, and finally fuel. Fuel is nothing but the engine needs to run. So what is it? Great people, money maybe if needed. So that is what it is. So my whole point is, we look at market feed, we look at growth like this. This is what we're trying to figure out. We are still figuring out engines, I would say. It is ideal to have 2 engines, maybe 3 engines, good to have 1 minimum, definitely. So we're still figuring out engines. We do turbo boost from time to time. Lubricants is again something we're still working on. So how do you measure this? Again, a lot of data coming in, right? What is your D7 activation rate? What is your top of the funnel to activation conversion percentage? Maybe there are multiple layers in between. Where are the drop-offs happening? Why are the drop-offs happening? If you see a person coming, seeing the product and clicking on buy, random e-commerce example, right? They're clicking on the buy button, but then they're not making payment. So you should know that that is where the drop-off is happening. They're clicking on buy button, but in the payment page they're dropping. Call them, talk to them, figure out why they're dropping. You will find out a way, solve it, and that percentage should reduce. You should keep tracking that metric on a week-on-week level. That is the granular level that you should go to and understand what's happening to your business. Only then you will grow. Again, let me be critical here. If you cannot hire people, get it done, but you should go to such minute, critical, granular level. Only then you probably build a great venture at scale. Right. Thank you. Yeah. So marketing post-PMF. Right now, if you figured out PMF, and during figuring out PMF, I said you should figure out your acquisition engines. So once you have an engine, you have PMF, raise fuck money that you want, do whatever you want, but then focus on your acquisition engines. Apply turbo boost once in a while. Monitor and make your funnel more efficient. Keep a check on CAC by LTV. What is CAC by LTV? Your customer acquisition cost by LTV. If you're spending 1,000 rupees in acquiring a customer and the lifetime value of the customer is only 500 rupees, is that a good business? No, right? So it is okay for the CAC to be even 10,000 rupees given your LTV is 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 rupees, right? So have a track of what your CAC is, what your LTV is, what your retention is. So that's what you have to do post-PMF, right? Focus on your acquisition engines, apply turbo boost, monitor and make your funnel more efficient, keep a check on CAC by LTV, and we come back to this, the most boring, critical, it's full of pressure, it's really difficult to keep growing 20% month over month, absolutely difficult, really difficult. I mean, I hope we couldn't do this. I hope you can probably reach a place where your product is so amazing, so great, so viral that you never have to worry about virality and growing at 20% a month, right? Otherwise, it's really tough. So, wish you all the very best. I hope you can do this. So this is where you can reach out to me. That's my mail ID. I have an Instagram and Twitter as well. Yep, that is it. I guess I hope I could deliver some value, right? Yes. Yeah, I always want to deliver value, and I always hope that, see, especially in the startup, because it is cool or because it is glamorous, അപ്പോൾ ആ വ്യക്തത കിട്ടി അതിന്റെ പുറത്ത് ആക്ട് ചെയ്യൽ ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻറ്റ്. വ്യക്തത എല്ലാവർക്കും കുഴപ്പമില്ല. ഞാൻ 19ാമത്തെ വയസ്സിൽ അല്ല 19ാമത്തെ വയസ്സിൽ സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പ് തുടങ്ങിയതാണ്. Really dumb, very foolish. I mean, now when I think back, it was probably the worst way of running venture, right? Probably maybe നിങ്ങൾ കുറച്ച് പേരെങ്കിലും ആ സ്റ്റേജിലായിരിക്കും, which is not bad, which is absolutely fine. But what is necessary is to understand. So you hear this, or you read something somewhere else. Reforge are good. Read Reforge. Watch growth X videos. Watch every single, read every single article. Startup school, YC startup school, it's a free program. Beautiful. More people should attend it. So what you should do as a startup founder is understand that you probably are not in a great place today. Understand that you have to grow yourself a lot before growing your company 20%. You have to grow yourself probably 50% every day to reach the place so that you can grow your company 20% every month. So you have to know that, you have to put in the effort, read, learn, understand, talk, apply, and then keep on moving and attacking and understanding. If you don't do that, if you don't grow yourself, you're never going to grow your company the way I talked about. So if you're never going to do that, probably don't even start up, right? September the kalando, right? Alangile take this in a good spirit. Understand that you have to go a long way. Even see, I'm not. Never ever think that I'm coming in preaching. I knew shit, right? I learned on the go. That is what I'm asking you to do. It's completely okay to learn on the go, but what is necessary is to actually learn on the go, right? That is what I'm saying. It is okay to start without having anything, any knowledge. It's absolutely fine. What is not fine is not learning, not getting better, not understanding. Even 4 years before, which is when I was 25, I couldn't probably talk about half of this, right? At 25, and I'm sure most of you are even below that. So it is fine, we have time, right? What is necessary is you learn and you get better, you make use of every opportunity and kill it, right? So all the very best, guys. See you someday on this stage.
So guys, so no, wait. We have a token of talk. So thank you so much, and we are super pumped. And thank you so much for being brutally honest on such matters, because you know that makes sense. Like, you know, you shouldn't come and sugarcoat things, and you should always do that, and you are doing it also. So yeah, from Kerala Startup Mission, we have a small token of love for you, and I would love to hand over.